Hey guys, it's Belle, and in this video I just want to talk with you briefly about an Old Saxon gloss that I find really interesting, and that is this one in the book of Exodus, which is crustula. Now, crustulum in Latin, I should probably do a video explaining more properly what it is, but it is a sort of circular bread in Roman literature, probably usually given to children. It's associated with sweet things, often paired with grape juice, although it could have been savory also, because at least at times, because the Historia Augusta describes the Emperor Hadrian chomping down on his favorite food, which was a tetrapharmacon, which was a crustulum which contained various meats and possibly cheese as well. So sometimes it could have been savory. My guess is that it was just a sort of round, like pastry-esque kind of thing. It is given here a Latin gloss taken from Isidore of Seville, panis oleo conspersus, which means bread sprinkled with or covered with oil. Now, this is gloss in Old Saxon's geknedan, which is not too helpful because that almost certainly means like kneaded, as in the dough has been kneaded. But then it goes on to say, and this is more Latin from Isidore of Seville, in medio concavus et tortus, which means hollowed out in the middle and twisted. Now, this hollowed out in the middle bit is interesting because it doesn't necessarily mean that there was a hole in the bread. This could have just meant that the bread was flat like a tart, because indeed the Emperor Hadrian's one seemed to have contained like fillings, so it can't have been completely hollow, right? And then tortus, this can mean twisted. It doesn't necessarily imply a ring, but the Old Saxon gloss for it is actually ringeling, which is quite clearly derived from something being like a little ring. And although this particular gloss doesn't say that these ringelingi were fried, we do have reference from, I believe, Paul the Deacon, that crustula were sometimes fried in oil or cooked in oil, not just, sprinkled with oil, because he says coctus ex oleo. So with all of this in mind, what we have for sure in this gloss is a reference to the continental Saxons having a kind of bread which is cooked with oil in some way. Maybe it's like covered in oil. I don't fully understand why they would just like put oil on top of the bread. That seems like it would just make it soggy. So I feel that it probably means that they cooked with this oil. Maybe they fried it to some extent. And then it's like hollowed out in the middle and molded into a circle. It's twisted into a circle, and they called them little rings. So the old Saxons had donuts. There you go. What a fun little gloss to find in the minor monuments of the old Saxon language. And do let me know in the comments if you would like me to do a video looking at more instances of the word crustulum in Latin and going into the specifics of what it probably was like in Roman times. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.